Hey, Mike here with Riverview Turfworks. About to do a little property cleanup here. Show you a little bit before photos here. Going to cut the dead growth off the bottom of all the ornamental grass up here out front. Weed all the beds, trim the hedges, do a little bit to the crepe myrtles, not too much. Mainly just kind of get them off the house. Trim the new growth off the bottom. Lift the canopy on this one a little bit. Otherwise, they're looking pretty good. They're a little bit too big for the front of the house, but that's just the size that they had planted here. As of right now, we're not doing anything to the mulch. That may change in the future. We'll also be pulling all the weeds that are in the beds. Alright, in the backyard, we're going to be taking all the growth off the fence on this side. And that side over there, I'll show you here in a little bit. I'm going to be cutting this guy just completely out right here. The guy behind it, I'm going to be lifting it, canopy on it, so we can get under with the mower and stuff. 3 trees in the backyard here we're going to be lifting the canopy on. Probably do about 7 or 8 feet is what we normally do. Crepe myrtles in this bed right here. We're just going to be pruning the new growth off about the bottom 6 feet or so on those. We'll be trimming the hedges that are in this bed as well. These crepe myrtles right here, the cold weather this year seems to have affected them pretty good, or pretty badly. But we're going to leave them up. We're just going to trim most of the new growth off the bottom of it, and same with this one over here. We're going to clear off everything hanging off the fence here. Lift the canopy on that tree back there. Lift the canopy on this red maple. Get all the hedges trimmed up in this bed. There's a Japanese maple bush over there somewhere. You can see it. Going to do a little pruning on it. And we'll be weeding this bed as well. Anyway, that's it. I don't know if we'll be able to get all of it done today with all the rain and storming that it's doing, but I'm going to get as much done today as possible, and then I'll be back here in a minute, show you the finished product. Alright, so we're back here with the finished product. Weather's a whole lot nicer today. Beautiful day. We managed to work during the rain the other day. Luckily it didn't storm. But the rain did slow us down quite a bit, so we didn't get quite as much done as we had planned on. But as you can see, it's a nice day today. Got everything done finally. Got the crepe myrtles pruned up in the front of the house. I got all the shrubs trimmed. The ornamental grass, there's one heading back in there too. We trimmed off the dead growth that didn't get trimmed this past winter. Trimmed that off the bottom. So it looks quite a bit better. Pulled all the weeds in the bed. They chose not to do mulch, which is fine. That's just a little bit more of a budget-friendly option that we're happy to do for you. So what we do in that instance is, if the mulch is older, like theirs is here, what we'll do is we'll just trim the bushes, and then we'll rake and blow out the leaves. Then we'll clean that mess up in the yard. And then usually we'll blow out a little bit of mulch at the same time. So then we'll suck up the leaves with the lawnmower and bag them, and then we'll blow the mulch back into the beds. And then whenever we do that, it kind of turns the mulch over too. It gives a little bit better of a color than what it had previously. But we got everything cleaned up in the front. All right, this job ran $785. So if you have something similar, that'll give you a little bit of a pricing example on it. So first things first, in the backyard, there was 3 bushes coming out of the fence right here. Now there's only 1. We removed the 2 that were in front of this one. Then we just pretty much pruned this one, lifted the canopy on it, so when the yard's getting mowed, branches won't be slapping you in the face. We pruned all 5 of the crepe myrtles here in the back. Got the new growth off the bottom portion of the trees, and also kind of lifted the canopy on them so they weren't hanging over in the yard. Got them growing properly. That's exactly how crepe myrtle should be pruned. We did leave the new growth. You can kind of see it coming in up there on the upper part of the trees. We had a real cold winter this year. It's 2021, and it actually did affect the crepe myrtles, so we didn't want to take all the new growth off. Trimmed up all the shrubs, front and back. Lifted the canopies on these trees. Trimmed up everything that was hanging over the fence. So we did a canopy raise on this red Japanese maple here. Raised it quite a bit. It was super low to the ground. Trimmed everything that was in this bed. We pruned the Japanese maple bush that's in the back corner back there. All these little boxwoods. Tried to get some separation between each of them. As you can see, they were all touching. That's pretty much it.